Good morning, Columbia County. Welcome to our Columbia County Connect for this Wednesday morning at 9:30. Today we have some, of course, as always, guest Andrew Strickland, our planning director, and Grace Jensen, the GIS analyst. We're going to talk about an exciting new feature from the county GIS department to help people understand zoning and how it goes on in Columbia County. But first, we've got our normal announcements. Remind you that the Yuki-Karaoke Festival is starting up, or set for March 17th, 18th, and 19th at Evanstown Center Park. We're giving you plenty of notice to set your calendar for this. This is a 3-day festival celebrating Columbia County's art, music, dance, and heritage. We got highlighting groups on Thursday the 17th, St. Patrick's Day concert by Driving and Crying. You know who Driving and Crying is?
No, but I'm looking forward to finding out who they are.
You know Driving and Crying?
Absolutely.
What do they sing?
It's
Here we go.
gonna be a good show anyway.
They're going to be here at 7 o'clock on Thursday, March the 17th for a concert. And Friday, Wycliffe Gordon and his International All-Stars in concert. Do you know Wycliffe? Wycliffe?
There might be a
I
tap.
don't know that one. I don't know that one.
I think all these people in the arts community and the dance community know these people.
They do. They should. It's gonna
And
be a
then
good
on
show.
Saturday the 19th, an all-day arts and dance festival with Eric Lee Beddington in concert. And the concert will begin at 5 p.m. Now, we'll give you other announcements on that as we go forward in our Connect. Tickets will be free general admission. There are some VIP tickets at $80, limited availability. On Thursday is free. Friday is $15 general admission, and Saturday is $5 general admission. I want to remind you too that, as we did last week, come this Saturday, Ronald Reagan Drive will be closed near Zaxby's restaurant. If you're going toward the post office down that way, you won't be able to get through. They're replacing a storm drain underneath Ronald Reagan Drive. If you drive by there now, you can see the size of those pipes. They're 72-inch pipes. They will create a bad road problem in that area that's been going on for several years. So be aware of that Saturday and Sunday, but the road will be open again Monday morning. Andrew, we talked about zoning before. We talk about the advisability of zoning, what takes place, and we have some things to decide in that regard as we go forward to try to maintain the quality of life that we have in Columbia County. But we've also had another problem of people are saying that they're not knowing what is being rezoned and what goes on. Now, I know we post signs, but I think through your group and GIS and Deputy Administrator Glenn Kennedy, y'all have come up with a program or an app that for all this modern generation to see what's going on in rezoning requests in Columbia County. And Grace, I believe you are the main one that put this together, is that correct?
Well, it was a team effort, but
Team
a
effort.
lot of the app configuration and things like that was brainstormed between Mary and I.
Don't be so modest.
Yeah, right.
Well, it was a team effort.
It was. It definitely was.
Now-
Definitely
Before we show the little preview that you put together,
Mhm.
let's go over what it really does. It's going to show a map.
Mhm.
This will be accessible from the county website.
Yes, sir.
2 or 3 links that you can go directly to this.
Mhm.
On the map, you'll have little dots or figurines in different colors
Yes.
that shows the progress of a request.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you go to any particular one of those and click on it, you'll be able to get a description and a status report of where that request is. Is that correct?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
And so there'll be one color for action coming to the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Correct. It'll be blue.
And there'll be another color,
I'm sorry, orange.
It's orange. Orange is for the planning commission.
and then another color for when it's between or after Planning and Zoning going to the commission.
Yep, that'll be a blue pen.
Your blue pen.
Mhm.
And then there'll be another pen that'll be up for 2 or 3 weeks or whatever.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. showing the final action taken by the commission.
Yes, sir, that's a black pen.
That's a black pen. And if you click on any of these stages, well, no, you tell me. If you clicked on the first stage,
Mhm.
the orange pen, you can bring up the zoning request,
Mhm.
the review by the planning staff,
The staff report, yes, sir.
staff report, and then everything that goes to the planning and zoning committee.
Yes, so you'll have the application, all the application materials submitted to Columbia County will be through this app. And you'll also be able to click on the staff report as well and see what analysis staff has done, any conditions staff is proposing as well.
Now, as a part of your staff report, rezonings go out to a lot of different agencies.
They do,
Correct.
they do.
I think the school board looks at them
Mhm.
and sends comments.
They do, they do,
The sheriff's department,
they do.
water, sewer and water utility,
Water utilities, stormwater, traffic.
traffic, okay.
Our building department as well.
So you'll be able to see on what you've done,
Mhm.
their comments pertaining to this one rezone.
The full staff report, they're available the Friday before a planning commission hearing.
Okay.
So it won't be there the minute the pin is established, but the zoning application will be. So as soon as that orange pin pops up, you get a quick summary of the applicant, the parcel that's
Okay.
affected, the owner of the parcel, just in case it's someone different, a quick summary, and the zoning application that was submitted. The Friday before the planning commission meeting, you'll get the full staff report.
Yeah, I know they'll see it again, but give us a little commentary on, you go to the county website,
Mhm.
columbiacountyga.gov. Then what do you do?
So there's gonna be 3 locations. It's anchored at the top of the latest news section, and it says notifications of public hearings map. You can click there, and it'll open in the same exact window, and it'll greet you with your details pane and your map, and it'll have a link for you to view your tutorial video. And then there's a link under the How Do I tab at the top of the county homepage, and it says notifications of public hearings. And then the 3rd location is under the Community tab and under Information, notifications of public hearings.
Okay.
So those 3 locations all take you to the same map.
Now, Andrew, we have people come to the commission meeting after there's been a notice of rezoning for 30 days, go through planning and zoning and be another, what is it, roughly 10 days before it gets to the commission?
About a week and a half, yeah.
From,
about 10
from
days.
Thursday to the Tuesday week.
Correct, correct.
Come to the commission meeting and say, we did not know this was going on,
Mhm.
and why were we not notified?
Sure.
You think this will help in that regard?
It absolutely will help. I think it'll be a good supplement to what we've already done. You know, the state requires a lot of notifications that be made for any public hearing. The problem with those notifications is that they're honestly a little outdated. We're required to post the agenda on the courthouse, at the courthouse. We're required to put a notice in the newspaper as well, in addition to putting a sign out on the property. But these days, who reads the newspaper, honestly? I mean, it's a lot more digital, and those ads aren't translated digitally to their online presence. So
Right.
this will be a good digital stopgap and source of information as well.
And recently, we have also started putting signs not only at the front or the road part of the property, but also at adjacent areas where if it might be behind the property or some other area,
We try to put signs in a location that will notify as many people as possible. So if
particularly adjacent
the
landowners.
adjacent landowners, we try to locate signs accordingly. One thing that we are considering doing is sending out mail notifications to adjacent property owners as well.
Mhm.
One good example of why that's necessary is recently Oak Brook Daycare on Evans Deluxe Road had a variance application in. So we advertised accordingly, put the sign on the property at Evans Deluxe Road, which is where it's required, right along the right-of-way there. But that property actually backed up to houses in Westlake. So those, unless those property owners drove down Evans Deluxe at some point, they wouldn't know that in their own backyard there was a request for variance.
And I believe in that situation, there was a rather large fence that divided the properties anyway,
Correct.
so they wouldn't have visual look at what could be going on.
Exactly right.
Okay. You put together a tutorial.
I did put together a tutorial with the help of Kaylee.
Does Kaylee know what she's doing with that stuff?
From my doings with her. Yes, I believe she does. I have full confidence in
Well, I
her.
think you'll see by this tutorial that we got an awful lot of talented people at Columbia County, and they're up with the technology. So are we ready to roll that tutorial?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Take a look at this. This is really impressive.
Hi, I'm Grace Jansen with the Columbia County GIS office, and I don't know about you, but whenever I drive around Columbia County, I see these signs everywhere. These are public hearing notices for our planning and zoning department, and we know that some of the information on here may be hard to read when you're going 45 miles an hour down Washington Road, but with our new app that we've created, you are going to have an easier way to get the information that you need and want for all of these items, and I'm here to help walk you through it. Let's get started. So if you're out on the roadways and you see a public notification sign for a rezoning or a variance application, you can go to the Columbia County homepage and access our new Columbia County Public Notifications app. So if you Google for Columbia County GA or type in columbiacountyga.gov, it'll take you to the Columbia County homepage. There are 3 locations to access the new app from the homepage. The first is under Latest News, Notifications of Public Hearings map. The second is under How Do I? Notifications of Public Hearings. And the third is under Community Information, Notifications of Public Hearings. Any of these links, when you click it, it will take you to the new app page. Welcome to the new Columbia County Notifications of Public Hearings app. You'll be greeted by a details pane in the top right corner that outlines some of the tools that we have in our upper left corner, a default extent button to bring you back to this home view, a legend button, a base map gallery option to change to aerial photography or topography maps, a measure option, a shortcut back to this details panel, and a print option. If you continue through the details pane, you'll see that it gives you a quick overview of some of our symbology. Orange pins represent items for the upcoming Planning Commission, blue pins represent items for the upcoming Board of Commissioners, and items that have been presented to both Planning Commission and the Board of Commissioners are shown by black pins for a period of 2 weeks for just historical record for a brief period to provide the public with information. As always, you can view the Columbia County Planning current applications page for more information. For example, if you were driving along William Few Parkway and you remembered seeing a public notification sign of an upcoming planning hearing, you could zoom to that area in the map where you can click on the pin, and in the top right corner you'll see a pop-up present with all of the information. You'll see who initially submitted the application, and it was filed by the Uchi Creek Investors Incorporated for the specific parcel and its owner. The request summary will be provided as well. You can click to view the application that was submitted. It'll open in a new window, and after it loads, you can scroll through the PDF. If you navigate back to the application, you can click to view the full report. Full reports are available the Friday before a Planning Commission hearing, and this full report is the full staff report for this item. As you continue through the panel on the right, you can see the date that it's scheduled for the Planning Commission hearing. If it's already gone through the Planning Commission hearing, you can see the action, whether it was approved, approved with conditions, tabled, denied, or withdrawn by an applicant. You will see the scheduled date for the Board of Commissioners hearing, as well as the Board of Commissioners action, if one has been taken. And as you scroll down through this information panel, you'll see a statement saying if you would like to comment on the request, to please contact the Planning Department either via email or through a phone call at 706-868-3400. And at the bottom of the information panel, you can see that there's a magnifier to zoom to the pin's location. At the pin's location, you'll be zoomed in to where you can see a little bit more information of the area surrounding it. At this zoom level, you may want to change your base map to aerial photography to give you more detail of the surrounding neighborhood, for example, or a topographic map if you're interested in contour lines. And as always, you can always navigate back to the street view. If you are interested in measuring, you can measure an area with this first icon. You click once to begin your polygon. You click once for every vertex and you double click to end it. You will see your measurement result in the pop-up window, and you can adjust your units with this drop down. For linear measurement, you can use the middle icon. You click once to begin your line and double click to end it. You'll again see your measurement result in the panel and can change your units with the drop down. And you can even obtain a coordinate. So you click once to place your coordinate and you will see your longitude and latitude provided in the window. You can also change it from degrees to degrees, minutes, seconds. If you were interested in commenting on this item, you can print this area and add a custom title, Bartram Trail for example, and add your legend to the output. And when you click this print button, it'll process, and after processing it'll give you a hyperlink to its printout. It functions as a print preview before you actually print your physical copy. So at the printout, you can see that there is a legend in the lower left corner and your scale bar in the lower right, along with your title and your map view. If we go back to the app, you can always click your default extend button to go to your home view. You can click this plus mark to zoom in at varying increments, or the minus to zoom out. And if we go back to the county level, you can start the process over again, click on new pins, turn your legend on if you need a refresher on what some of the symbology means, and you can always turn your details tab back on. Thank you for viewing the overview for the Notifications of Public Hearings app. If you have questions about the app itself, you can contact the GIS department at 706-868-3421. And if you have questions about planning items, you can contact the planning department at 706-868-3400. Thanks again.
I think you'll agree that that is very impressive and will be very helpful. So if you see a rezoning sign in your neighborhood, and once the sign goes up, it'll be a little bit before it gets on the website, right?
That table is actually maintained by, I believe, Danielle. Isn't that right?
It is, and actually the sign will go up well after the app gets the information.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have up-to-date new information on that app as the application.
So when you see the sign, you can go to the county website and bring this up and get all the information about the
Correct.
status and what's been applied for.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
I think that's was a pretty good job. What do you think?
I am definitely proud of it.
You should be. Now, you know the reward for work well done is more work to do. Huh?
That's what I
Are
hear.
you aware of that?
Yes, sir, I am.
What about an app to show the progress of construction projects, road projects, and that kind of thing?
That's definitely something that I think is doable. It's a matter of kind of setting up some tables and figuring out how we'll record that information in the GIS and how we'll translate that into a public-facing app. But if that's something that we want to pursue, definitely think it's possible.
Well, with all we got going on and the money that we have to spend, thanks to the votes of our citizens, that might be something to look at as we go forward, because we should have construction on Lewiston Road, maybe Flowing Wells, maybe even Furious Ferry before Riverwatch and Washington Road widening gets completed.
Sure.
So at some point in time, you may have 4 or 5 major road constructions going on at the same time. So I think that, and you could put notices as to lane shifts and traffic patterns and things like that on there. This is another in our efforts to keep the public as informed as we possibly can on what's going on in county government. As you know, in a high-growth county, most everything is fluid. It continues to change, be updated, revised, and it's kind of hard to keep up with really what's always going on right now, isn't it?
It is, and we deal with it every day, and it's hard for us to keep up with it. So if there's any way we can help the public stay abreast of it, we're there to do it.
And with the anticipated growth at Fort Gordon, our normal 3% annual growth. The housing market is strong, the real estate market is extremely strong. There'll be more rezoning applications for residential. And as we, of course, go forward, more residential and more rooftops brings more interest in commercial and professional. So it can hopefully continue to be a good problem to have. And what you've done, Grace, should make that a lot easier for the public to understand.
Well, I hope so.
Any additional comments, Mr. Andrew?
I don't think so. Again, I want to commend Grace and Mary and GIS for getting on this, and Glenn Kennedy for being the spur to get it started.
Again, remember that Ronald Reagan Drive will be closed this Saturday and Sunday. Open back up on Monday morning unless the weather really turns terrible over the weekend. If you can avoid that, or if you need to go to the post office, please access it from Washington Road. And we thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next week. So thank you all for coming by.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you.
May have you back again on
Always.
a little transport.